Good evening. I know it's late. Welcome to BJC Halacha A, number 1829. Halacha that keeps the Yetzer Hara away. Dedicated in loving memory of Daniela Batzvir and Neshama Aliyah. And we're continuing with the laws of the Marv prayer on Shabbos night, Saturday night, and Havdalah. So we said, what happens if you forgot to say the Atah Chonatanu bracha, which is the extra part taking you out of Shabbos. So he said you don't have to repeat the Shemona Esrei because you're going to say Havdalah over wine soon. However, says the Yetzer Hara, but great care should be taken not to do any malacha, like prohibited labor, nor to taste anything before reciting Havdalah over wine. If you did do a malacha or ate something, you must repeat the Marv Shemona Esrei. So, and then he says, footnote number 5, this time making sure to include the Atah Chonatanu. The Ber Halacha partially disagrees with the author and rules that only upon eating must you repeat the Shemona Esrei, but not upon doing a malacha, right? So he's going to say that just say that Baruch Hamadu Bekodesh Techol if you forgot it, and then you can go ahead and drive home. You can do the malacha, but you really shouldn't eat until you say Havdalah. One who did not adhere to this halacha and recited Havdalah over wine without having repeated the Shemona Esrei no longer needs to repeat the Shemona Esrei according to the Pri Megadim. However, the Derech Chaim rules that he must still repeat the Shemona Esrei. Okay. If you do not have wine over which to recite the Havdalah and you forgot to say Atah Chonatanu, if you didn't do both, other rules apply in this case. Now, if you have beer, you can say it over beer. But let's see what he says here. These rules are as follows. A, if you remember before the blessing Shemona Tefillah, you recite Atah Chonatanu during Shemona Tefillah, meaning really there's a proper place to say the Atah Chonatanu, which we said is the blessing of wisdom, but you can also add it in the Shemona Tefillah blessing, which comes later, if you remember. If you remember after Shemona Tefillah, you must go back to Atah Chonen and say Atah Chonatanu and continue Shemona Esrei from there. So if you already said the Shemona Tefillah, you can't repeat it there. You can't add it there, but you have to go all the way back to the Atah Chonen Ludas, blessing, the blessing about wisdom, and then add it in its proper place. If you remember after completing Shemona Esrei, you must repeat the entire Shemona Esrei. These are the rules of the Mishnah Berurah. But again, it seems that if you did say Havdalah, then obviously over wine that you don't have to repeat the Shemona Esrei. But this is if you did not say Havdalah as well for some reason. You're not going to say it until tomorrow night, whatever. So then you definitely have to go back and say it again with the proper insertion. Thanks for listening to Sponsor Future Halacha 36 100 for the gold. Have a good night.